Tri-Cities, Washington. Jim Hendrick along with Sam Cole as the second appearance of the fast flight today on the course, and leading the fleet up there is the Miss Budweiser, followed by the Atlas Van Lines, the Miss Renault, the American Speedy Printing, and the Squire Shop. Sam, it looks like the Budweiser wants to take it wide, and he may be a little early.
Well, Jim, as Kropfeld brings it around here to head down to the starting line, he is somewhat early, but the rest of the field's beginning to pull alongside. Kropfeld's got his foot in. I think he's going to be somewhat early. Everybody else is behind him. Here they come down for a flying start, and Jim Kropfeld is either going to be perfect or he's going to make a big error.
It's going to be very close. On our clock, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what the official ruling is, but Kropfeld and the Budweiser's out in front as he goes down to corner number 1, followed by the Atlas Van Lines, and also up in there is the Square Shop. A big spray of water as Jimmy Kropfeld from Cincinnati hangs it on the hook, goes sideways, now shakes it loose down the back chute, and the Atlas Van Lines is up there in that rooster tail somewhere, Sam.
And as he goes up there, Kropfeld's got Bernie Little's Miss Budweiser out on top. They're in the lead in the National High Point Chase right now. Kropfeld on the outside. Here he comes. There you see Chip Hanauer moving into the screen now. That's about a 2.5-second lead for Kropfeld. Remember, the length of a rooster tail is about the length of a football field, and that's 1 second in hydroplane racing.
As he goes down now to corner number 3, still awaiting a word from Lee Shinoff, our chief referee, who makes the decision whether he jumped the clock. The clock goes from orange to black every second. When it goes completely black, you're supposed to be on the money.
Jim, as Kropfeld went by there, you saw the fire aboard the Miss Renault. A turbocharger let go. There is fire. These boats have onboard fire extinguisher systems. If something gets that bad, Milner Irvin will jump into the water and stop this heat. But right now, the system is working. Here's Chip Hanauer giving chase. I'll keep my eyes up there and see what happens with the Miss Renault.
And right now, the Atlas Van Lines goes into corner number 1 as the Budweiser comes down the back chute off of corner number 2, and it's not been official as if the start is official or not. Waiting for the word from the chief referee, Lee Shinoff. Budweiser right now currently out in front of the pack, but if there's an extra penalty lap, Sam Cole, the Atlas Van Lines will take over official first.
Well, you know, Jim, the drivers will find out as they come around this time, possibly, because in hydroplane racing, the starting clock is moved back. Half orange and half black. That's the only signal these drivers know if someone jumped the gun. They don't know who did, but they have to find out by looking at the clock if someone did.
Milner Irwin has that fire under control on the Miss Renault, and it was probably a turbo fire, but we saw some flames, and he's out of the race. Here's the Budweiser, and Jim Kropfeld did look up. And right now, Sam, we're getting official word from the tower. This boat, the Miss Budweiser, is 4th. Not first, because you'll have an extra lap to go. It's the Atlas Van Lines with Chip Hanauer out in front, but Chip, I don't think, is going to take any chances.
No, he's not. He's not giving up any ground whatsoever. Kropfeld brings Bernie Little's boat. Here's our new second-place boat. That's the Squire Shop, driven by Earl Hall.
He's flying.
By Bob Stells. Yes, he is. He's dancing down that straightaway. The boat getting a lot of lift as it goes down there. Here's our new leader, Chip Hanauer, the Atlas Van Lines.
And our second-place boat, the Squire Shop, after having problems the first time out, will now be able to make the final if he can get 300 points here in the second place finish.
That's right, and if everything goes the way it's going right now, it's going to make one heck of a race for our national championship, because should Hanauer win, should Kropfeld come through, Hanauer will pull to within 69 points of the Miss Budweiser for the national championship title.
Going into this particular heat, this boat, the Budweiser, was 300 points ahead of the Atlas Van Lines, but this boat will pick up 400 points. The Atlas Van Lines here with Chip Hanauer, and only 169 for a 4th place finish for Budweiser, unless somebody breaks down and he can move up a notch.
Right now, Kropfeld out of Cincinnati, Ohio, takes the Miss Budweiser through. He's content there. Here comes Earl Hall in the Squire Shop, doing a heck of a job in this boat. They lost an engine earlier here today. A little bit flighty as he goes down through there. Whoa! And he just took his foot out of it as they go down through there. Here's our leader, Hanauer, the Atlas, up the backstretch.
And our second-place boat now comes down towards me, still flying, Sam. A little bit too light on the front end. That right sponsor comes up, and now he hangs it on the hook in corner number 1. He's currently riding in second place. Third place is the American Speedy Printing with Jack Schaefer Jr. And here's our 4th place boat now, Miss Budweiser, as the extra penalty lap is going to hurt that boat, but Bud will make the final.
Yes, they will. 4 of these boats will move into the final, and with the Miss Renault going down, we're going to have to see if she can come back with a consolation, because Squire Shop would move in there if everything finishes the way it's going right now. But once again, this is racing, and there's a lot of ifs until that checkered flag falls.
Right now, it stands as the Atlas Van Lines is the lead boat right there, the Blue Blaster with Chip Hanauer from the Seattle area coming for about a lap and 3/4, and this heat will be history. Second place boat is the Squire Shop, driven by Earl Hall. At third place, Jack Schaefer Jr. in RB Bob Taylor's boat, the American Speedy Printing, Renault is watching the rest of the parade go by down near corner number 3 after having a turbo fire.
You know, I haven't seen the Squire shop this loose for a long time. Earl Hall doing a lot of flying out there. That's the only boat in the fleet that has a parachute on the back of it. In case the boat were to take off in flight, Hall has a plug, pulls the switch, and a parachute will pop out, enabling the boat to slow down. It is a safety device perfected by the Squire shop's crew chief, Jerry Zubik.
They hope it's perfected, Sam. They've never had to use it, and let's hope they do not. Here's your lead boat right now to take the checker flag. Atlas Van Lines comes down with Chip Hanauer, and he will be the winner with 400 points, and he flies a little loose, Sam, as our ESPN camera gets real close.
He sure does. Chip Hanauer picks up the win. Earl Hall is going to take a second place in the Squire shop. Jack Schaefer Jr. in the American Speedy Printing will take third, and in fourth it'll be the Miss Budweiser. All 4 of these boats will move into that winner take-all finale here later this afternoon, but I think the big story is going to be the national championship race. Here's Earl Hall, our second place finisher in this heat. He'll move into that final. The national championship race, as I was saying, Miss Budweiser will now have 6,069 points compared to 6,000 points for the Atlas Van Lines, and we could have a new national high point leader later this afternoon, or the Miss Budweiser could extend their margin over everyone else. Here's Jack Schaefer, the third place boat, in Bob Taylor's beautiful American Speedy Printing Special out of Houston, Texas.
And of course, did not finish, goes to the Miss Renault, the U3, the driver Miller, who in Jerry Shana's boat, and a 4th place finisher now after getting the penalty lap to Jim Cropfield and Miss Budweiser just a fraction of a second too soon on the start. Get the inside scoop on the latest in the sporting world when Sal Marciano hosts ESPN Sports Forum. Twice weekly, a different panel of sports experts gather to analyze, comment, and speculate on sports teams. Sports teams, personalities, and much more. So join Sal Marciano and the nationally known sports authorities each Tuesday and Thursday for a half-hour of sports give and take on ESPN. We'll be back on ESPN with more unlimited hydroplane action from the Columbia River in Tri-Cities, Washington after this timeout.